Let me ask you something. If your house is worth $200,000 more than you owe on it, how much of that $200,000 can you actually spend today? If you answer is none of it, you're not alone and you're not wrong. That money is real, but is locked behind a wall. And this segment is about the 4 keys that can open that wall. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Here's the thing nobody tells you about home equity. It is not a bank account. It is not cash sitting somewhere with your name on it. It is a number on paper, the gap between what your home would sell for and what you still owe. For most families, it is the single biggest pile of wealth they'll ever build, bigger than their retirement account, bigger than their savings, and most of them never touch it because they do not know how or because someone talked them into the wrong tool for their situation. So let us talk about the tools. There are 4 ways to turn that trapped equity into cash you can actually use, and they are nothing alike. The first is a classic home equity loan, sometimes called a second mortgage. You get one lump sum of cash at closing, one fixed rate, one payment that never changes for the life of the loan. I had a couple redoing their kitchen, and they loved this option because they knew the exact number they needed. They had steady income. They wanted a payment they could set and forget. If that sounds like you, a home equity loan is hard to beat. The second is a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. Think of it like a credit card where your house is the collateral. You get a credit limit. You draw what you need. You pay interest only on what you have actually used, and the credit becomes available again as you repay it. This is a tool for the phased renovation and multi-year tuition bill, the business owner who needs flexible working capital. The trade-off is the rate usually moves, so your payment can rise over time. And here's something that used to be a real drawback that just is not true anymore. Modern platforms can now fund a HELOC in as few as 3 to 4 days. Speed is no longer the excuse to put this off. Now, here is a version of a HELOC that most homeowners have never heard of, and it might be the most important thing I say today. It's called a first lien HELOC. Some people call it a wealth builder loan. Instead of sitting behind your mortgage, it replaces your mortgage entirely and it calculates interest differently. Instead of charging you interest on the whole balance, it charges interest on your daily average balance. So when you run your paycheck and your savings through that account, you're mechanically paying it down every single month. Even when you keep full access to that money as a line of credit. Homeowners using this strategy are paying off their homes in 6 to 8 years, not 30, without giving up a dime of liquidity. I want to be clear about something here. How you use a loan matters more than the rate on it. A slightly higher rate on a smart structure will beat a low rate on a lazy one every time. The third tool is completely different because it is not a loan at all. It is called an equity share, sometimes called a home equity investment. You're not borrowing anything. You are selling a slice of your home's future value to an investor in exchange for cash today, with no monthly payment and no interest accruing. For a retiree on fixed income or someone who has been turned away by traditional lenders, that absence of a monthly bill is often the entire reason they look at this option. But understand what you are giving up. If your home appreciates fast, the investor's slice of that appreciation can be significant. This tool trades a payment you do not want for a piece of upside you might miss later. Now, if you're doing this short term, there are safeguards in there as well. And the fourth tool is built specifically for real estate investors. It's called a DSCR second, and it qualifies you in a way almost no other loan does. Instead of looking at your personal income, your W-2s, your tax returns, the lender looks at the rental property itself. Does the rent cover the payment? If the property cash flows, you qualified, period. For an investor who owns a stabilized rental and wants to pull cash out to buy another property without disturbing a great rate on their first mortgage, this is often the cleanest path there is. So which one is right for you? Here's the single most valuable habit I can hand you today. There is a difference between eligibility and suitability. And it is the difference between a product you can get and a product you should get. Eligibility is the lender's checklist, your credit score, your loan to value, your income. Suitability is your checklist, your goals, your timeline, your tolerance for a monthly payment. You can be eligible for all 4 of these tools and still be suitable for only one of them. Run both checklists before you sign anything. And when you're running those numbers, score every option through 3 lenses. Safety, how protected is your home once the deal closes? Liquidity, how easily can you get your money or get out of the deal? Return, what do you actually walk away with? A home equity loan scores high on safety, low on liquidity. A HELOC scores high on liquidity with some rate risk. An equity share trades your monthly payment for a slice of your upside. The lowest advertised rate rarely wins on all 3 of these lenses at once. And that is exactly why the cheapest option today is rarely the cheapest option over 10 or 20 years. If you have equity sitting in your walls and you are not sure which of these 4 doors is the right one to walk through, that is exactly the conversation I have with families every week. Go to rsrlinks.com/second loan, rsrlinks.com/second loan, and let us run your numbers together before you sign anything. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to Mortgage 101, brought to you by rsrloans.com. That's rsrloans.com.